Good day everybody, hello, welcome to, I think this is the third video of today. This one is going to be covering the new video that's dropped by Kabam. It's the 9th anniversary video, it looks a little bit like this, called The Call of Ouroboros. To be honest, it sounds like, I don't know, somebody catcalling in America going like, damn girl, you gotta find Ouroboros. Because that's how I assume that culture to be like. That's incorrect. But any case, yeah, interesting, fun trailer. We're going to be looking at this, so let's do some reacting and other stuff. So first of all, go and check out the trailer, because what we'll be doing is, of this video, the full video, I'll put a link to it in the description, because we'll be pausing things as we go and kind of like reacting to things. So, I mean, to start off with, we got kind of like a, it's like a Roman sculpture thing like this, that's kind of like a, it's not the biotapestry, but kind of like there's something somewhere that's like, I like the fact that the collector's made himself all gold and he's doing this kind of like, oh, it's a bit kinky that he just touched his own tit. Why would you do that if you're the collector? Why would you go about like touching your own breasticle? Like it's, I mean, look, it could be checking for lumps. That's, I don't know. I find this really weird. I know I'm playing it back several times, so I just it's so weird. But the thing is, like, it's vain, isn't it? Like he's meant to be all vain, not kind of like the not the VEIN, but the VAN. No, VAIN, not VEIN. You know what I mean? Vain. You know what I mean? Like he's touching his veins, but he is vain. You know. I think it's worse if you kind of like slow-mo it. Let's slow-mo it. Let's put it like half the speed of like, oh, check out my muscles. Oh, I'm so muscle. Oh, that's my boob. Oh, just touch my boob. It's very, very weird. It's very weird. But the collector's a very weird kind of like individual. Any case, lovely. Love to see many of the champions. Don't know what that soul is. It's kind of like a soul that's kind of like well, what is it? I know, like, I guess this is going to be the symbol to Ouroboros, or a link to it, or that universe, that alternate dimension, whatever it is that they're kind of like referring it to be. It's the same thing like the toy maker within within Doctor Who. Not going to talk any more about that. If you haven't seen Doctor Who, go and see it, as in the latest episode, episode 3. Any case, right. Big explosion. Fragments of reality are blurred, and all of a sudden there are the corrupted, or I'd say that, well, we'll go with corrupted versions or alternate versions of some of the champions. I would say very weird to begin with that we've got a class disadvantage pair up. Kabam do this a couple of times in this particular video. You got Miles Morales versus Cytalis, and I think Cytalis is a skill-based champion. So again, we've got a class disadvantage again. Well, did Kabam actually play their game? Do they know what they're doing? There we go. At least that's kind of like not a class advantage. I mean, it's kind of it's a thing. It's fine. And then, yep, there we go. There's Behemoth. Yeah, that's a tech versus a science. A fantastic option there. There's class advantage. Now we're doing class disadvantage with Danny Moonstar versus Saras Tits. Yes, I did say it's Saras Tits because that's the joke. Anyway, look, cool. I love this kind of like animation. Whoever did this, fantastic work. You've done a great job. And then we've got the gang and this new one, which is, it looks to me like a, I mean, look, it's a Franken-Castle, but it is a corrupted version. It's weird because for this particular version, it looks like it's like a robot. It's like a Franken-Castle, although it's wielding axes, or are they hammers? No, they're both axes. So this is where things get a little bit strange in this. This is why I dissect it the way we did, because there's some extra context to this, and this is why we love doing coverage here on the channel. Is we're able to dissect matters of importance, and this is one of those particular matters of importance. So back a while ago, if you remember, like the Ouroboros stuff from these versions of corrupted characters had this Punisher type creature, which looked like, and as many people pointed out, it's like a symbiote version of it, like a Clintar Punisher. Not 100% that we knew that, but it was like, well, it kind of looks like it, and you kind of got that flavor of it. Even more so when you look to the this version here, you can barely make it out. Actually, I don't know if I've got like a better version of this or like a higher res. But as we've zoomed in, we can get a bit of a flavour there. So yeah, like there's a Punisher version. So there must be some like plot holes to this. We'll talk about the Chronoserpent in a minute. But back when Kabam used to do these puzzle things, State of the Battlegrounds, which now they've gone in a different direction, which I'm kind of like, ugh. It's a bit annoying because you can't kind of like storycraft, theorycraft stuff, and it kind of takes away from the fun. So I do miss these type setups. However, though, it's just so unusual, isn't it, that we've got this kind of version here. So this, what is it, like a Punisher of description. It doesn't look anything like this version of Punisher that we've now, where is it? There. So the design has changed. So I would say that Kabam's story has changed. I think that we're now going away from my discussion with Gabe. I think we're going away from that that initial storyline and story structure that Kabam put together. Well, not Kabam put together, because the thing is, it's up for interpretation from Gabe's story of how he left it after the end of Marvel Realm of Champions, and how then it was going to go into the future, going into the Axe, because we already knew at that time we were definitely getting Cytalis, and we were getting Behemoth. I'm not sure if we knew what we were getting with Sarastits. I will stop calling it that, but it just makes me laugh every time I call it Sarastis. But then it's kind of weird because we've got like so in a nutshell, right, we've gone from the Symbiote Clintar version, which again, just to rehash or refresh everyone's memories, is this version, to this more Franken-Castle type version. So like a Frankenstein version of it. It's not completely like that, especially if you kind of look at the fact that he is, I don't really know how to describe it. It's kind of like a demon, like a possessed demon, like kind of Morning Star type thing. And I can't remember what they refer to it as, when it's like you're trapped in an iron mask, or your soul's being injected into this. There's a few characters in like other types of IPs that I could mention, but I don't think it's going to be relevant to this. But I'll go with that. It's kind of like Morning Star, like the soul is being put back in, like a corrupted soul is being kind of re-entered into what is what seems to be some kind of robotic or kind of like dead version of the particular character, which, as I said, kind of like is it looks like a Franken-Castle of sorts. It also puts things very weirdly in perspective for what we're having with Act 8. Because under this particular theory that we're having this particular character, well, that indicates that we're not getting the Chronoserpent as the final big bad for the end of the season, end of the act. Like it's instead going to be I'm calling him Franken-Castle for the time being. Corrupted Frank-Castle. He is going to be the end boss. Which, look, there's no problem with that. I just find it it's a bit strange, isn't it? But then, as I said, like, stories change and the future continues on with this particular character. Especially because I thought we were going to get the Chronoserpent. But in any case, let's watch on, shall we? And kind of like pick up on some other things that are dropping with this. The main thing that comes up as the next part to this is the Chronoserpent is teased. I mean, look, let's kind of like go to the champions mention. If you've seen, I love that Deadpool bit, by the way. That's me, by the way. That's me late at night playing when it's like 11:30. Aim's like, should I turn the light off? Are you going to go to bed now? Like, yeah, okay. I just got to do some stuff in MCOC because I don't get time. But look, the greatest thing about this is that you can see here, bullseye, there, white tiger. We all knew that was going to be a thing. We all knew these champions were going to come into the game because we covered this. Well, we covered it on Sunday, but this information was out there by Friday. So you would have got a bit of a flavour for that. And is this going to end, or is it going to show the Chronoserpent as the Collector and Grandmaster watch over the battle realm and things kind of like, you know, happening? I also wanted to get an idea if there's any other kind of like teases, but I don't think there is. So like in this particular pause screen here, no, you can just see bullseye right there. You can see white tiger there, just coming to left of shot. Nothing else. There's King Groot. Hello, King Groot. It's good to see you out there, my friend. And no more. I don't think there's any more. Excuse me, hiccups. And of course, you got the version of Franken-Castle there. Yeah, I don't know. Like, it's just from looking at him, it kind of looks more like a Frankenstein, like the Franken-Castle type thing. Not completely, because it doesn't look anything like the Franken-Castle that I've kind of seen in the comic books. But definitely this version right here is odd. It does look like a very kind of robot or robotic or cybernetic version, like a cyborg. It's like cyborg Franken-Castle. It's a very odd. Oh, hang on, that's a hammer. Ah, sorry, he's got a hammer and an axe and a knife. So he's packing heat, but not the kind of heat with the bang bang shooties. He's got some stabbies. In any case, right, I think that's really it. There's nothing really to go over in the video, but there is obviously the last thing to kind of mention that well, still no kind of like things when it comes to the Chronoserpent. I guess it's going to be going into Act 9 then that we'll probably see this boss. If it's not the big bad of Act 8, then of course it will be the big bad of future acts. And maybe it's the case that like there's, I don't know, there's going to be an end point of sorts that goes, okay, right, well, we're going into book 2. Maybe, I don't know, 4 acts per book, new book. Don't know. Like, it's hard to really know like what is the end game here. Are we going to see 2 more acts? Are we going to see up to 12 acts, and then we're going to see a new book? Still interesting to find out what this Chronoserpent type element to this and the future of this story. But hey, we'll see as the days go on, weeks go on, months go on, years go on in the future. So thanks very much for watching this video. What are your thoughts on some of the things that you've seen in this particular trailer? Check out some other content located on screen. I'll see you all soon. Much love and goodbye.